Suzanne Barron here, founder of Christ the True Light. Reading for Isaiah 5. I will sing for the one I love, a song about his vineyard. The vineyard is in here. The one he loves is Christ. My loved one had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it up and cleared it of stones and planted it with the choicest vines. He built a watchtower in it and cut out a wine press as well. Then he looked for a crop of good grapes, but it yielded only bad fruits. Those be the many members of the demonic spirits that dwell in us. Now, you dwellers in Jerusalem and people of Judah, judge between me and my vineyard. What more could have been done for my vineyard that I have done for it? When I looked for good grapes, why did it yield only bad? Why did it yield only bad when I looked for good? Those are the ones who are striving. We all have sin in us. Now I tell you what I'm going to do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it will be destroyed. I'll break down its wall, and it will be trampled. I'll make it a wasteland, neither pruned nor cultivated, and briars and thorns will grow there. Briars and thorns. Poetic language, but it's barbs in your eyes, you blind, thorns in your side. Paul said in Wycliffe version, it says a prick of my skin, a prick in my skin. Our newer text says, thorn in my flesh was given to me, that it may buffet me. Wycliffe says, a prick in my skin, that it harasses me. Newer version says, prick in my skin so that it harass me, buffet me. Prick in my skin, thorn in my flesh. This thorn is sin. That's why Paul said, I asked the Lord to remove it from me 3 times. And the response was, my grace is sufficient enough for thee. Grace is unmerited favor. It means it's favor that you do not deserve. It's given to sinners. My grace is sufficient enough for thee. I asked the Lord to remove the thorn from me 3 times. Sin. Paul's thorn is sin. Wycliffe version says, I should have brought my phone. Wycliffe version says, unless the greatness of revelations enhance me in pride, the prick of my flesh, an angel of Satan is given to me, that he may buffet me. He may buffet me. An angel of Satan, a demon, is given to me, a prick of my flesh, a demon. It says this, the prick of my flesh, an angel of Satan is given to me, that he may buffet me. And then NIV says, because of these surpassing great revelations, therefore, in order to keep me conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. So a messenger of Satan, angel of Satan, is a demon, but NIV says to torment me. Wycliffe says that he may buffet me. He. So this thorn, this prick, is sin, because grace covers sin. My grace is sufficient for thee. Grace covers sin. So this prick and this thorn is sin. Angel of Satan, messenger of Satan, that's a demon. And Wycliffe is clear when he says that he, the man of sin, he may buffet me. NIV does not say he, it says to torment me. Okay, 5 verse 6. I will command the clouds not to rain on it. I will make a wasteland neither pruned nor cultivated. I will command the clouds, and briars and thorns will grow there. So this sin will grow here. And I will command the clouds not to rain on it. The clouds. Therefore, we're surrounded by a cloud of witnesses. Many members and both sides, both teams, briars and thorns, demons. Inside the cloud, you have Moses and Elijah, right? On the Mount of Transfiguration, that glorious cloud. Inside that cloud was Moses and Elijah. Many members to reign on it. The vineyard of the Lord Almighty is the nation of Israel, and the people of Judah, and the vines he delighted in. And he looked out for justice, saw bloodshed, for righteousness, but heard cries of distress. Woe to you who add house to house and join the field. Join them together till no space is left, and you live alone in the land. Jesus said to pluck out the eye, cut off the hand. He was using body parts as an analogy. Paul did the same thing. As the body is one, has many members, so also is Christ. The toe cannot say to the hand, I have no need for you, therefore it's not part of the body. Paul exposed the body of Christ. Jesus exposed the body of sin. Pluck out that eye. Remove that demon from it, that prick of my skin. Remove that angel of Satan. Remove that demon out of you. Cut it off. Cast it out. Woe to you who... Okay, read that. Verse 9. The Lord Almighty has declared in my hearing, surely the great houses will become desolate. I said, what verse was that? Chapter 1, 2. I said your might have been chapter 1. I said your country is desolate. City does not need the sun or moon to shine on it, for the Lamb is its lamp. So your great houses will become desolate. It's the same thing, city house, the tabernacle. The fine mansions left without occupants. A 10-acre vineyard will produce only a bath of wine. A homer of seed will yield only an ephah of grain. Woe to you, or woe to those who rise early in the morning, run after their drinks, stay up late at night till they are inflamed with wine. They have harps and lyres at their banquets, pipes and timbrels, wine, but they have no regard for the deeds of the Lord, no respect for the works of his hands. If you are not somebody who really reads the Bible and stuff, and heaven and hell is real, it really is important that we turn back toward God and seek after him and not just live it. You only live once. It really is important. It took some head knocking for me to understand that myself. It really did. Therefore, my people will go into exile for lack of understanding. Those of high rank will die of hunger, and the common people will be parched with thirst. Pastor really hurt my feelings. I tell myself, pray, and I acknowledge a truth. Genuinely, he loves me, cares for me. He's shown me that. Therefore, my people go into exile for lack of understanding. Therefore, death expands its jaws, open wide its mouth, and to it will descend the nobles and masses. With all the brawlers and revelers, people will be brought low, and everyone humbled. The eyes of the arrogant humbled. But the Lord Almighty will be exalted by his justice, and the Holy One will be proved holy by his righteous acts. Then sheep will graze as in their own pasture, lambs will feed among the ruins of the rich. It's all poetic. It's hard to say these things. The thing about enlightenment, I can't say I actually understand every single bit of it. I'm not saying that I do. But I see little things here and there. And even when I see them, it's hard to say it. That's what enlightenment is. You see something that is like literally hard to verbalize. You are enlightened. Your mind is enlightened. You can see something that most of the time people can't see. And the reason why people can't see it so easily is because it's literally very hard to say. Because it's spiritual and we are not that. We are human. That's why it's important to read your own Bible. Because what I see over here is found way back here and in here and over here and over there. It is important to read it yourself. It really is important to read it yourself. Woe to those who draw sin along with cords of deceit and wickedness and wickedness as with cart ropes. To those who say, let God hurry, let him hasten his work, so we may see it, the plan of the Holy One of Israel. Let it approach, let it come into view, so we may know it. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. This is like Illuminati. This is what I see in Illuminati right here. Who put darkness for light, light for darkness. Who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. The world is saying that Satan is Illuminati. Woe to those who call evil good. He is not Illuminati. He is not a light. He is darkness. He is a light of darkness. Careful that the light you have is not really dark. Jesus said that. But let me move this over here so I'm looking more straight. Satan is not Illuminati. He's not the one who uses the subliminal messages. Through our movies, Avatar, that was a beautiful movie. God wrote that movie. Everything about the interconnectedness of life and the spirit being within the earth, within Pandora, the trees, the synapses, and the how the neural network worked through the entire planet. That's how Earth is supposed to be. All the animals and stuff are supposed to work like that. It can't because we interfere with the food industry, domesticating them. But the ones in the wild, out there in like Africa, in the rainforest, they're working the way they're supposed to be working. Consciousness, consciousness is the door. Uh, let's list off some of the things. We're talking about how Illuminati predictions to the future. New World Order, 1994 through 1995. New World Order, Illuminati, Steve Jackson, Illuminati, New World Order card game. How many predictions are on there? How many predictions? Still coming true. Predictions still coming true. Over like 100 of them. Like, I don't even know the number. Um, how about late 1800s, 1890 something? Uh, Morgan Robertson. He wrote a book called Futility of the Titan. It was about a big, huge, unsinkable ship traveled out to the North Atlantic Ocean, hit a huge iceberg, and it sank. Late 1800s. It was 1890 something. That book was published. 1890. Cat claws off that leather. 1890. 1912. Titanic sank. Big, huge, unsinkable ship traveled out to the North Atlantic Ocean, hit a huge iceberg, and it sank. Twin Towers printed on a 1998 $20 bill, folded up, origami, looks like the Twin Towers. How about this? 1998, all of those bills, $5, $10, looks like the Pentagon. I mean, they all do. All of them predicted 2001 day of Twin Towers, 9/11. All of them printed in 1998. We blame Illuminati government, right? Government stuff, right? That's what we do. 1 Peter 1:11 says this. trying to find the time and circumstances to which the Spirit of Christ in them, talking about prophets of old. Christ was in all of the prophets of old, so Jesus was not the first person to have Christ in him. To which the Spirit of Christ was pointing when he predicted in them, when he inside of them predicted the sufferings of the Messiah. Sufferings. Twin Towers, Titanic, Terminator, iRobot. It doesn't have to be about suffering. Avatar, Walking Dead, Simpsons, predictions. Humans are not capable. Look at the New World Order Illuminati. Clearly, Illuminati is doing it. Clearly, Illuminati is doing it. New World Order Illuminati card game. Clearly, Illuminati is the one doing it. Who is Illuminati? Spirit of Christ in them pointed when he predicted the sufferings of the Messiah. Christ is Illuminati. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put light for darkness and put bitter for sweet, sweet for bitter. Woe to you. My people will go into exile for lack of understanding. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Woe to those who are heroes at drinking wine and champions at mixing drinks, who acquit the guilty for the bribe, but deny justice to the innocent. Therefore, as tongues of fire lick up straw, and like dry grass sink down in the flames, so the roots will decay, and their flowers blow away like dust. For they have rejected the law of the Lord Almighty and spurned the word of the Holy One of Israel. I can't say it's talking about the audible word right here, but it's possible. Rejected the law of the Almighty and spurned the word. There's a written word, a word delivered to us through the prophets, and then there are those who hear the audible word. Again, I would have to pull Strong's on that one. Therefore, the Lord's anger burns against his people. His hand is raised, and he strikes them down. The mountains shake. The dead bodies are like refuse in the streets. Dead bodies, like demons, refuse in the street. It's poetic. I don't understand. Dead bodies, though. Yet for all this, his anger is not turned away, and his hand is still upraised. He lifts up a banner for the distant nations. He whistles for those at the ends of the earth. Whistles. I can't think of what that verse is. Here they come swiftly and speedily. Not one of them grows tired or stumbles. Not one slumbers or sleeps. Not a belt is loosed at its weight. Not a sandal strap is broken. This is going to be like it's talking about like an armor. Ephesians, armor. Sandal strap is broken. Their arrows are sharp. All their bows are strong. Their horses' hooves seem like flint. Their chariot wheels like a whirlwind. Chariot wheels like a whirlwind. How do I compare this? Ezekiel's vision, the chariot and the wheels. Okay. Spirit of the living creatures inside the wheels. They had many eyes in every direction. That's the Illuminati. You are that wheel. The creatures are the many members of Illuminati that make up that body of the spirit sitting on the throne. The spirit of the living creatures was inside the wheel. So it's one. It's literally one thing. One. But it's three. The spirit of the living creatures was inside the wheel. That wheel went nowhere on its own. That's control. They had eyes in every direction, all-seeing eye. That's Illuminati. Big, bright ember light he saw inside that wheel. Big, bright light. The lamp. They roar like that of a lion. They roar like young lions. They growl and they seize their prey and carry it off with no one to rescue. Now, that sounded really good, but that sounded really bad. Am I contradicting? No. I'm saying there are two kingdoms, there are two bodies. Okay? Careful that the light in you is not dark. You could still be a wheel and driven by a spirit of a dead creature inside the wheel. Demons, the prick of my skin, the angel that harasses you, angel of Satan. You could still be a wheel. Illuminati is controlling the world. Careful the light in you is not dark. They seize their prey. And if one looks at the land, there is only darkness and distress. Even the sun will be darkened by clouds. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Please like, follow, share. Please make sure you're sharing. That it's really important that you share it, because that is how I reach people. With one click, I can reach 100 people. It's very important that you do that. Thank you. Our website is www.christthetruelight.com.